A moment of silence as if to stop the whole atmosphere. When Amira first steps into Arson and his new bride Rabir's house, the atmosphere is seemingly pleasant, but a strange prickling sensation lingers in the air, as if the breath of some unseen secret is trapped in the walls. Amidst the aroma of tea and polite smiles, her gaze suddenly rises to Rabir's room, where a corner of official files flickers in an open cupboard, just as if some forbidden reality has lifted its veil for a moment. The frame slows down, the sounds are muffled, and an incomplete musical note echoes in the background, the note that creates a small crack in the air before the arrival of a storm. A nameless uneasiness awakens in Amira's heart, but she herself cannot understand what is stirring so quietly amidst the joys of this new home. Until a moment ago, Amira had only been absorbed in the strange silence of this house and the vague hints of the official files seen in Rabir's room, but the next moment, Rabir's sharp, cold, and completely unexpected sentence seemed to pull the ground from under her feet. If you come again and again, there will be discomfort in the house. It is better that you stay away from arson. And these words resonated so intensely that the entire scene turned into a black and white frame of an anime. Heartbeats racing, breathing heavy, as if some hidden secret was suddenly screaming its presence. Those official files, that incomplete musical note, and now this sudden ban altogether became the prelude to a twist that further inflamed Amira's suspicion, as if some truth were about to slam the door with all its might. Amira's face turned pale, but a new question had arisen inside her. Why does Rabir want to keep him away from arson? And from here, the flow of the story will move forward from this very pulsating point in the next part, where the first suspicion that arose in Amira's heart is now about to become a full-blown storm. Rabir's sudden restriction and the hardness of her tone were still echoing in Amira's heart, as if those official files and moments frozen in black and white were pushing her towards some big secret. In this confusion, she immediately goes to arson, but her son rolls his eyes, changes the subject, and dresses up with a lifeless smile in response to every question, as if some unseen pressure has imprisoned his words. This silence feels louder than the noise, and hooks the audience in an instant. Why is it that Arson is unable to meet his own mother's eyes? Why does Rabir want to keep him away from her MIL? The twist of the previous scene, Rabir's restraint, now seems to take on a more dangerous turn with Arson's unnatural nervousness, as if some secret thread in the layers of the story is tying the two together in a single dark secret. And from here, the next part will proceed at exactly the same tension, where Amira's suspicions are no longer just suspicions, but steps towards the truth. Arson's solemn silence and Rabir's strict restraint had already left a heavy cloud of suspicion in Amira's heart. In the same anxiety when she helps clean the room left by Rabir the next day, everything seems normal until a folder slowly slides from under the bed and reaches her feet. She picks it up, and as she peers inside, anime-style shock lines spread across the screen. It's a marriage certificate, but the husband's name isn't Arson's, but Saad Rashid, and at that moment the dramatic zoom zooms in on Amira's eyes, as if the entire world has suddenly lost its color. This twist gives a new intensity to every clue in the previous scenes, Rabir's restraint, Arson's silence, and now this explosive evidence, all of which together make the viewer's mind scream out a single question. What life was Rabir hiding? And from here the story will move forward with the same burning tension in the next part, where Amira is ready to pursue the truth. The marriage certificate found in Rabir's name makes the suspicion already burning in Amira's heart a full fire, and she immediately goes into anime-style detective mode. In the silence of the night, the laptop screen casts a blue shadow on her face as she searches online. The rustling of files in the long, cold hallway of the government records office the next morning gets on her nerves, then conversations with a few old neighbors in the neighborhood in short but stinging sentences. Each clue is like putting the pieces of a terrible picture in their place. Finally, the truth comes to her. Rabir is not even legally divorced from Saad Rashid yet, meaning her marriage to Arson was built on lies and deceit. This new twist combines all the previous scenes, Rabir's restraint, Arson's silence, and the secret government file all into one explosive reality, pushing the audience deeper into the abyss of curiosity. And now the story will move forward with the same long-breathing tension in the next part, where the truth in Amira's hands is about to test every relationship in this family. Rabir's hidden marriage certificate and its entire deceitful reality keep echoing in Amira's mind like a broken bell, ringing over and over again, and with that burden, she pauses in the stillness of the night under the moonlight in the courtyard of the house and takes a deep breath. On the one hand, the newly discovered truth has shaken her to the core, On the other hand, the memory of Arsen's innocent face strikes fear in her heart that this secret might break her son's life forever. The moonlight casts a faint silvery glow around her, and in this soft but merciless moonlight, her silent thoughts take the form of a monologue. Should I remain silent, or reveal the truth? All the previous twists, Rabir's restraint, Arsen's unusual silence, the fake marriage, and the secret investigation all sit heavy on her heart at this moment, as if the story is pushing her to the next step, and from here the next part will begin on the pulse of this conflict, where the price of telling the truth will decide the future of relationships. Amira's entire night of struggle finally culminates in the moment when she stands in front of Arsen with all the evidence in her trembling hands: Rabir's secret marriage certificate, official records, neighbors' testimonies. Everything shatters on the table like an explosion, and the air in the room suddenly becomes so heavy that even the walls seem to hear it. Arsen first laughs and refuses in disbelief, then Amira silently lays out one fact after another in front of him. The light in his eyes begins to go out, shock descends on his face, and then suddenly he explodes, with a scream that tears the heart. Was my whole marriage a lie? This moment becomes an explosive combination of all the previous twists: Rabir's commitment, Arsen's silence, the hidden marriage certificate, Amira's secret research, and her night-long moral struggle, and now the story stands at a point where not only emotions, but the entire family is on the verge of breaking or surviving, and the next part will begin with the echo of this very broken question. Arsen's pain, breaking in front of Amira, now points in the same direction, and they both stand in front of Rabir, evidence on the table, the atmosphere heavy, and the question straightforward: what is the truth? Rabir tries to act surprised at first, then shadow fall comes on her face according to the anime trope, a cold eye glow emerges in her eyes, exposing her true personality. She makes excuses, turns the blame around, lies upon lies, but when Arsen's trembling voice and Amira's silent but ruthless gaze surround her, her anger flares, and finally she breaks down inside. The confession slips from her lips like a long-held secret unable to hold its own weight. I ran away from Saad. I wanted a new life, but the divorce was never consummated. This sentence combines all the previous twists: the secret marriage certificate, Arsen's silence, Amira's investigation, and the direct confrontation, into a single explosion, pushing the story forward with even greater intensity, where the next scene will unfold on the wreckage of this same confession, and the foundations of the family will undergo a decisive shaking. The echoes of Rabir's confession are still shaking in the room when suddenly there is a loud knock on the door, as if fate itself has entered the story to deliver the next explosion. Arsen opens the door and a strange but angry man stands outside: Saad Rashid, the same name that turned Amira's world upside down. Anger, exhaustion, and betrayal all flow together in Saad's eyes as he says in a trembling voice that Rabir had disappeared with huge debts in his name, and he has been searching for her for months. Inside, Rabir's face drains as if her entire double life has been laid bare before the viewer in a single moment: a fake marriage with Arsen on one side, an incomplete relationship and financial fraud with Saad on the other. The frame breaks in anime style, the background shatters, and the shadow fall on Rabir's face deepens, as if each of her lies is taking its last breath. This reveal brings the story to a point where the truth has not only been spoken but has also been broken through the door, and the next scene will begin from behind the same destroyed curtain, where the path to the end is about to become even more brutally clear. With Saad's sudden appearance, Rabir's double life had been completely exposed, and the burden of the world collapsing inside Arsen was reaching its final limit at this moment. He slowly turns to Amira, the same pain in his eyes that he had hidden from anyone for years, and then for the first time openly shows his weakness and holds her hand tightly. His trembling voice echoes in the soft moonlight-filled scene: Ami, you were always right. I'm sorry I kept you away. In the next moment, the distance between mother and son, created by Rabir's constant lies and pressure, is shattered in an emotional hug. The warm light of the scene gives all the previous twists: Rabir's restraint, Arsen's silent torment, the revelation of the fake marriage, Saad's arrival, a gentle yet powerful Rambo twist, as if the story is emerging from a deep darkness and breathing light for the first time. The next scene will begin after this frozen moment, where the ending will not only be closer to justice but also a new foundation of relationships will be born. As Rabir's lies, her secret past, and Saad's sudden return uncover the full truth, she finds herself surrounded by a wall where every avenue is closed. Saad stands with his financial fraud and disappearance complaints, legal notices are scattered beneath her feet, and Arsen's silent resentment is the final blow. Falling petals slowly fall around her in an anime-like manner, as if the last remaining fake beauty in her life is dying, and the cracking mask effect appears on her face. The mask she had adorned for years with lies, innocence, and artificial balance is now cracking and crumbling. Her breathing becomes heavy in the air of the room, and for the first time she faces her mistakes with an intensity she never expected to bear. This decline pushes all the previous twists: the secret marriage, Arsen's silent torment, Amira's investigation, direct confrontation, and Saad's return, to a complete end, as if the story is finally delivering its final verdict. And it is from here that the next scene will open the doors to a new ending in the echo of this decline. Despite all the truths being revealed and Rabir's veil being broken, the story still had its final blow hidden, a silent piece of paper that Amira had kept hidden in her chest until now. When the situation completely calms down, she suddenly steps forward and places that last document in Arsen's hands. And Arsen's breath catches as soon as he looks at it. Rabir had secretly transferred money from his account, meaning the betrayal not only of the relationship, but also of trust and the future. Arsen looks at his mother in shock, but Amira's voice cuts through the surprise with a soft but strong force. The truth always comes back, sometimes late, but with full force. In the end scene, Arsen and Amira walk towards a bright path, their steps strong and free. While the camera slowly pans towards Rabir, she stands alone in a dark corridor, the lies of her life looming as shadows behind her, as if her actions are now ready to catch up with her. Morel: deception never hides forever, it comes back, and when it does, it brings with it the full resonance of the end, while truth, however late, always leads to the light.